This is the plaintiff, Deborah Ryan. She says she did secretarial work for the defendant at her wine company, and the defendant owes her back wages and money she loaned her, and she can't get the woman to pay up. Meanwhile, the defendant's a multimillionaire, and she can't believe she has to actually drag her into court to get the $5,000 she's owed. This is the defendant, Paola Reed. She says the plaintiff's a complainer and an all-round negative person. The woman's suing her now simply because she couldn't find any work. Bottom line, she's tired of the woman's gossiping, doesn't owe her anywhere near what she's asking for here today, and isn't going to back down without a fight. She's accused of withholding.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Deborah Ryan,
Yes, ma'am.
you are suing your former friend Paola Reed for $5,000 in damages, wages, money that you say she owes you for bounced check, and mostly for pain and suffering and defamation of character. Tell me what's going on.
I used to work at a restaurant in Winter Park, Florida, the Mount Vernon Inn, and Mrs. Reed and her family come in there quite frequently. And she and her other sister, Rosario, have custody of a third sister.
Can you tell me what? Just a moment, ma'am. Can you tell me why you have custody of a third sister?
We are from Italy, and I brought my sister to America after my mother passed away. She was left alone in Italy, in Roma. And she had artistic since she was
Autistic.
yes.
Okay. I've got it. I've got the general idea. All right, so go on. You got hired to help with that?
To come and stay with Maria during the night because she has a tendency to get up and wander around.
Okay.
So that's how I came to work for them.
Okay.
And then Paula has a wine business that she operates out of her home. So she asked me if I could do some invoicing and emails and things like this.
Okay.
So everything's fine for several months.
Keep her job at the Vernon, what was it, the Mount?
At the Mount Vernon. I'm
Mount
still
Vernon.
doing that too.
Okay.
The real problem started on April 21st
Of this year?
of last year.
Of last
She and I went to Palm Beach to see a gentleman that was going to be a potential client of hers.
Okay.
She didn't have her credit card. She asked me to pay for lunch. She said she would repay me.
All right.
That's in the evidence that I handed in.
And then she didn't repay you?
No.
Okay.
Then the day of the royal wedding, I get this call from Paula. She's very upset. There's some kind
Because
of bill.
the prince was getting married? I know how you feel.
There's some kind of, she has some kind of bill that she can't pay. She asked me if I could give her $2,000. I said, Paula, I don't have that kind of money, but I can loan you $450, which I did. And that's also in that
Did she
document.
repay you the $450?
She did, Your Honor, eventually.
Okay, she paid you with a check at first, and that check bounced.
The next week, she gave me a check, and that check bounced. All
And
right.
then she eventually made good on the $450, but she didn't pay for the fees.
I got charged by my bank $12.
Did you tell her about that back then, or you were going to let it
Yes,
slide
I did.
then?
I did. Then she went away to visit her daughter, and I just
Is
decided
that the last time you worked for her?
May 13th of last year. Plus, she went to the hotel and told them that I was stalking her, that I had threatened her, that they were afraid to come into the restaurant, plus that I had told
Stalking
them...
her, why? Because she tells the place you work that you are stalking her because you are trying to get paid?
Yes.
She says that you told the Mount Vernon Hotel, her employers, that she was stalking you.
Madam, I'm sorry. I feel very, very sorry. I apologize if she feels in this way. We were very good friends, okay? She came many times to our house as a amica friend, okay? I'm very hurt because she's been, something she say is true, something is not true. And to be honest with you, 1 year went by, I don't remember. I'm just a human being, I've been...
Okay, but you know whether you paid your employee. Do you owe her $555 in wages?
Probably yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, everything is so fast here,
I know, but why didn't you pay her?
Plaintiff did secretarial work at the defendant's wine company and says she got stiffed. The plaintiff is especially galled because she says the defendant is loaded, not from wine, money. Let's listen.
I wanted to pay her.
Tell me if you went to lunch. Did you take her to Palm Beach?
Yeah, okay. I have clients in Palm Beach. And then she said to me, okay, because I pay for the gas, she says, I say, look at Debbie, I have to be very honest, you know my financial situation. Some of these restaurants, for some reason, they take all their time to pay me. Okay, so I said, I don't have very much money at the bank. I'm waiting for checks to come in. And she said, don't worry, no problem. I buy you lunch because...
Okay, so your version is that she bought you lunch.
Correct. Yes.
Why are you suing her for taxis?
The agreement when I went back to work for them was that
Mamma mia.
if I came over for any special occasions other than Thursday or Friday, that they were going to either pay for
Do you
my
have any proof
gas.
of that?
And
So you took a taxi to her house and you're suing a year later to reimburse her for the taxi?
Well, on
But
April,
according to you, they're supposed to pay you for the taxi right away.
well, yes, Your Honor, because
Okay, why didn't you just get paid for the taxi right away before working the next time for them?
well, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Your
it sounded
Honor.
good at the time.
Okay.
All right, and then why does she have to pay you $4,191.50 in pain and suffering?
Well, first of all, Your
Excuse me.
Honor,
No,
I'm
no,
getting
wait, I'm
sick.
dying to hear this. Hold
I'm
on.
getting sick. I'm
Are
sorry.
you? Okay, what do you need? You want to sit down? Bring her a chair.
Debbie, you very...
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Thank you. Okay, would you like to sit down? Just hang around there.
This is not a joke.
This is what? Why are you so emotional about this?
Because friendship. I don't believe this. You bring people to your house and they hurt you. For me, this is very severe. This is
So,
hurt.
Ms. Reed, you admit yourself that you owe this woman between $500
Madam.
and $600. So why are you?
I call her. I also wrote some emails. She knows where I was living. So why she did not come to the house and say, Paola, okay, you're a friend of mine. Could you please pay me this invoice?
You know what you owe her. Why does she have to come and tell you over and over?
God will judge. He knows the truth. Only God.
Yes, but in the meantime, pending God's judgment, I've got to render a judgment.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, I mean, what do you think about this defendant saying, oh, she should come to my house and then we'll pay her?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, is this woman a deadbeat? Is this woman a deadbeat?
Not just a deadbeat, but really unprofessional.
It's very unprofessional. What's the motivation here? Just, I'm not going to pay the person?
She wants to sleep with her. She thinks she's hot.
Okay, good theory. Solid point going inside the courtroom.
My last question to you is, what is the pain and suffering and defamation of character for which you are suing $4,191.50?
she came to the hotel and made some accusations about me
This is
that
very
were not true.
What were the accusations?
That I was stalking her, that I was threatening her.
Who did she make the accusations to?
Oh my God.
To my former boss, to the general manager of the hotel.
Did you get fired
Yes, I did.
because of this?
I think it contributed to it a lot.
Do you have any proof of that? Do you have any statements from any of the employers?
They had me sign a letter saying that I would not sue Mrs. Reed, or else I was going to get fired.
Oh,
Okay?
when was that? Do you have that?
That was right after this happened. Okay, that she
Do
came
you
up
have that?
and-
Do you have that?
No, I do not. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
All right, let's go over what you're suing for. First of all, on the $555 in wages, I find in your favor.
All right.
Second of all, on lunch, I find that it's your word against hers about who was supposed to pay for lunch. She drove you down to West Palm. And then on the taxi issue, I find against you because you have no proof that somebody has to pay your taxis to get to work. On the return check fee, I rule in your favor. And then the $4,191.50 in pain and suffering and defamation of character. What's the pain and suffering?
This was very upsetting to me, Your Honor. I mean,
Okay, that doesn't convert a $567 lawsuit into a $5,000 lawsuit. That does not cause it to become 10 times its size. You were wronged, Ms. Ryan. You were owed money, you weren't paid the money. It was wrong of your employer to stand there and hold you hostage to eating $555 in order to keep your job. But we all have choices in this world. If an employer had said that to me, and I'd walk away from the employer. Perhaps you felt you couldn't. Now they, of course, are wondering, were you a waitress?
I was the hostess.
Why would our hostess be doing business with one of our favorite families that come and frequent our restaurant and putting us now in this position? You have all these tears you're wiping away about how it's so bad because it's friendship, but you were perfectly willing as a friend to stiff her the $555. And you are clearly talking to the employer about it, because why else would she have been under that threat where she couldn't end up suing you for all of that time, or else she was going to end up getting fired? So I don't buy the tears, but I don't buy the blown up lawsuit. I find in your favor in the amount of your wages and the bounce check fee for the $450 that you've already been compensated for, but that the $12 fee you weren't paid for. $567, verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Well, the defendant seems to have composed herself a little bit as she comes out into the hallway, but a few minutes ago, you found this to be a very emotional experience. Why?
It's my first time, experience, and because she was not.
Does it hurt you that this is somebody that you thought was a friend or you considered a friend?
She stabbed me in the back. Yes, terrible. I don't believe anymore friendship, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, head right around this way.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so you got the money that even she said she owed you that much money, $500 and some odd dollars. So you got that, but she's pretty upset.
I'm sorry that it came to this, but this is the way this woman operates. She treats people like dirt, and this is 21st century America, not medieval Italy.
Mm-hmm. What about the $4,000 in pain and suffering? That was a good try.
Yes, and, I tried, but I'm not unhappy. I want to thank the People's Court.
Thank you. Harvey?
Just real quickly, if somebody, you're working for somebody and they stiff you, you can actually go to the Labor Department. They actually have departments in many states where you can go there. They'll resolve these disputes. And if the employer doesn't pay within a certain period of time, you can actually get a penalty from the employer. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.